heroes who have fallen before him. Chris and I know firsthand the sacrifices those in uniform and their families make to protect our God-given freedoms. We were raised with similar core values, where an undying love for our country was instilled in us at an early age. As we remember our heroes today, we're struck with the fundamental question, what do you truly love? And what are you willing to sacrifice to protect it? We love this great nation, the land of the free, the home of the brave. We love the ideals upon which it was founded: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and justice for all. We also love the opportunities this great nation has provided to generations of immigrants seeking a better way of life, such as those who founded the Epoch Times and NTD News. Having escaped the oppressive grip of communism, they recognized the transformative power of the freedom of speech and the vital importance of preserving the principles that make America exceptional.
We at the Epoch Times and NTD know that journalism in its purest form plays a vital role in safeguarding the very essence of our democracy. It has the ability to hold those in power accountable, to shine a light on injustices, and to amplify the voices of the marginalized. We hold dear. Let us never forget the patriots who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect those freedoms. May we devote all that we have to serve the America we love, just as the brave men and women who served before us did and who we honor today. May God bless our troops, and may God bless the United States of America.
All right.
Gentlemen, thanks very much. They talk about freedom of the press, and it's the first constitutional amendment. It was so important. Our founding fathers made it go first, so it's nice to have a representation here. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Our next speaker is Dave Walker. Dave Walker is the president and CEO of the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes. This coalition's in Leesburg, Virginia. It is a nonprofit group. It provides direct emergency financial assistance and other vital services to severely wounded veterans of this ongoing global war on terror. Under Mr. Walker's leadership, the coalition has become one of the most respected veteran service charities in the country. A warm welcome for Mr. Walker.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, I'm going to get Constitution Avenue here, all the attendees and audience participation. So be prepared. But look at this. It all starts and let it rain. I'm honored to be here. What a day it is. This is our day where we give a commemoration to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. We're honored by their love, their dedication to the country. There are three things that I think of on this day, Memorial Day 2023. First off is we give thanks. This day is recognized as a day of picnics, the unofficial start of summer, but it's much more and more deeply about the commitment that many men and women have made in our armed forces towards our freedom, our ability to self-govern, and it truly is a remarkable sacred day. The second is, this is a day for us to pause. A day for us to pause and look at our own democracy. Look at the currents of the way in which our country is acting and behaving. There are men and women who stood for freedom, for us, to give us this blessing this day, to do what we do. It's a sacred gift that they have given us. This is a day to pause about that gift that those who paid the sacrifice for our freedoms today. The third, this is a day to unite. This is not a day about red and blue. This is a day about red, white, and blue. Across this great country, coast to coast, many communities are preparing or underway, or maybe even completing their Memorial Day ceremony. And here we are in our nation's capital with representation from nearly every state of the Union, probably 30-plus countries. And here's our moment so that folks out in California can hear us. Are you ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Give some applause. Who loves a parade? Good. The rain hasn't dampened the spirits. Who loves our freedoms? And third, who loves dearly the men and women in uniform each and every day that stand on a wall for us and keep us safe, and those that have done so before them? Big applause. Don't let a few raindrops dampen your spirit. Good for you. One last time. One big applause for today's Memorial Day Parade. God bless you guys. Enjoy the day. And let's keep our men and women in our minds each and every day. God bless you.
And God bless you, David. I love that. The parade that is not red and blue, but red, white, and blue. You know, we have a great performer coming up for you. She's quite a great entertainer. She's a singer. She has a long history of producing incredible productions from New York City and other locations around the country, from stage to television. And she has an incredible series of independent shows that she does, but one thing that she has that's so special to her is a very unique place in her heart for America's veterans. Yes, it's an honor to introduce you to our next performer, Michelle LaFave.
Let the drums roll out, let the trumpets call, while the people shout, strike up the band. Let the cymbals ring, calling one and all, to the martial swing, strike up the band. There is work to be done, every son of a gun, every song to be sung. Come along, let's go. Come along, let's go. Hey, leaders, strike up the band. Yankee doodle-doo, doodle-doo, we'll come through, doodle-doo, doodle-doo, for our red, white, and blue, blue. Take a stand, fall in line, yay-bo. Come along, let's go. Hey, leaders, strike up the band. Soldier boy, oh my little soldier boy, I'll be true to you. You were my first love, and you'll be my last love. I love you so, I'll be true to you. Take my love with you to any foreign port or shore. Darling, you must feel for sure, and I'll be true to you. And soldier boy, oh my little soldier boy, I'll be true to you. He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man of his craft, but then his number came up and he was gone in the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow his bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he could not jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a tootly-oddly toot. He blows it a hate to the bar. He boogie rhythm. He can't blow a note until the bass and guitar are playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for a red, white, and blue, where there's never a post or flag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on that grand old flag. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you reign. For old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on that grand old flag. For the memories of all those gallant Yanks in trucks and jeeps and tanks, their bravery in hospitals, no matter what the ranks, how inspiring it was. And thanks for the memories of Christmas in Vietnam, of rationed food and Spam. And here's to those who saw the shows we did for Uncle Sam. How touching it was, with songs of the war all around us. We did all our shows without fearing. We knew if we kept the boys cheering, we all could cope, 'cause we still had hope. So thanks for the memories. We really owe a debt of days of no regret for Bob and all the servicemen and every other vet. The bravery across the sea we never will forget. So thank you so very much. And thank you for the memories of Tippy. God bless America.
Awesome.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Michelle, thank you. That's perfect. She ends with the thank you.
I saw you doing a little boogie between this.
When she went boogie woogie, you got to go boogie woogie.
You got to do a little boogie woogie.
The hips have a language of their own. That's how it works. Now we get to introduce somebody who's a dear friend. We've known him for many years.
Him. Yes.
You almost don't need to introduce him, but at home you need to know who he is.
Yes.
His name is James Roberts, and James Roberts is the founder and executive chairman of the American Veterans Center. His kid was born in Chicago, went on to serve in the Navy, and he's done great things to help veterans especially. But the nonprofit that he runs right now in D.C., the AVC's mission is to guard the legacy and honor the sacrifice of American service members for generations. The one thing about Jim is this guy is a patriot. It's in his DNA.
Yes.
It's red, white, and blue is in
Absolutely.
his DNA. When they look up his DNA strain, they will see red, white, and blue. But this parade, the Memorial Day Parade, it started back in 1942, right after we got into World War II. And years later, it was suspended. They stopped doing it. And they brought it back. And Jim Roberts is the main reason and one of the focal points of why we have this parade today.
And I was there, not in 1942, but when he brought it back. And as a matter of fact, we had Winston Churchill's granddaughter and grandson. It was quite amazing. Wow. But, you know, they don't just do this Memorial Day Parade. They do so much more. They have Emmy Award-winning documentaries and education projects, digital documentaries that are just phenomenal. They conduct educational events, really, to bring in some of these amazing heroes. Well, let's connect these heroes with the military cadets and ROTC students. They also produce something that's my favorite thing. I just really love this, and I know you will too. It's a special called American Valor, and it's a star-filled tribute that showcases these military heroes, featuring lots of great talent that you'll recognize. But right now, it's time, don't you think?
It is.
Let's introduce himself, the American Veterans Center founder, Chairman James C. Roberts.
Thank you, Jonathan and Blanquita. you're worth every damn dollar I paid for you to say those kind things about me. So thank you so much. Seriously, they do a great job announcing. So let's give a warm round of applause to Jonathan Elias and Colbie Caillat. All right, Secretary Kendall, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, a tradition that the American Veterans Center revived in 2005 after an absence of more than 60 years and returned to the nation's capital. The parade takes a lot of work, believe me. More than 5,000 people actually march in the parade, and hundreds of volunteers work behind the scenes to make it possible. I want to express special thanks to the Boeing Company, our presenting sponsor, for their generous support, as well as our many other sponsors. Please join me in a round of applause for today's parade sponsors. A special thanks to Music Celebrations International, John Best Entertainment, and Under the Sun Productions, the three companies that actually assist us in producing the parade. Special thanks also to the National Park Service, the Military District of Washington, Muriel Bowser and the D.C. government, and the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police and Fire Departments for all you do. The Fire Department puts up this wonderful flag on their own. We don't ask them to do it. They do it just for us. Thank you so much. And finally, our heartfelt thanks to the small but amazing staff at the American Veterans Center for the long hours they have put in into putting this parade down the street. It's a labor of love for all of us, and it gives us great joy to see the tens of thousands of people lining Constitution Avenue to salute our military and especially to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of our country. And now I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies. Jonathan Elias is well known to television viewers all over the Washington, D.C. area as the anchor of the 5, 6, and 11 o'clock broadcasts for ABC Channel News, ABC Channel 7 News. Before coming to Washington, Jonathan was the main anchor for WBZ in Boston and KNXU in Phoenix. He's reported on news and sports of every variety and won the highest awards the television industry has to offer, including the DuPont, Peabody, and National Emmy Awards. Jonathan is a strong supporter of our military and founded the Welcome Home Project, a group that works to recognize and thank returning Purple Heart veterans. Jonathan has partnered with the American Veterans Center on a number of efforts, and it's a pleasure to have him back today with us as Master of Ceremonies and as co-host of the on-site streaming service for today's parade. Please give a warm welcome to Jonathan Elias.
Thank you. All right, give me 1 second to get squared away. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah!
There we go. We got our cheering section over there. It's nice to see everybody out, especially when we got the threat of rain. That doesn't mean anything to us. It's good to come out on a day like today and spend time together and reflect and have a parade and celebrate America and those who've served it. What I'd like to do now is I want to introduce to you the National Memorial Day Parade Committee Chairman, Robert Agostinelli. He's the founder and CEO of the Roan Group. It's a renowned worldwide private equity group. He and his wife, Francesca, they are generous supporters and a host of patriotic, cultural, and civic causes, including the American Veterans Center. That's where Mr. Agostinelli is a life member in the board of directors. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a nice, warm welcome to Mr. Agostinelli. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. James. I'll make myself brief and clear. Let us on this most sacred day remember not only the thousands of brave men and women who have made that ultimate sacrifice mentioned earlier, but what in fact they died for, our freedoms. As ideological forces plot to unravel pluribus unum, as they bring discredit on our creed of unalienable rights, as they mock our flag, the living symbol of our unity, replacing it with banners of division and victimhood, as they supplant our manifest destiny of a more perfect union by claiming our foundation to be corrupt. It's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. As they supplant a nation of laws with a culture of intolerant and violent special interests, let us commit to fervently remember the honored dead by embracing President Lincoln's vision of a new birth of freedom. We shall not break faith with them. We shall live to make good on America's promise that they shall never have died in vain, and that city on a shining hill will never, ever die. God bless you all.
Robert, thank you. Up next for us is the Deputy Representative from Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office. It's Robin Chang. Robin?
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to participate in today's meaningful event organized by the American Veterans Center to commemorate the ultimate sacrifice our forebears made, so as to remind us that freedom is never free. Today, we want to not only honor the fallen, but call to mind the determination and courage of all who are fighting tyranny and defending democracy. On behalf of the office representing Taiwan, I would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the people and government of the United States for your long-term support as we continue to hold our ground on the front line of defending freedom against authoritarian expansion. Now, let us continue to stand in solidarity to safeguard peace, democracy, and the values we share around the world. Thank you.
Robin, thank you for that. Please welcome Ambassador Al-Zain Al-Sabah. He's the ambassador of the state of Kuwait to the United States of America. Please come up. Nice to have you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure, a true pleasure, to be given the opportunity to represent my country, the state of Kuwait, in a ceremony to honor the sacrifices of the United States Armed Forces. I was 16 years old when the U.S. led an international coalition and sent its finest young men and women to liberate my country from a brutal dictator and his ruthless occupying forces. That was roughly 32 years ago. I beg you not to do the math, but that was 32 years ago. I was a refugee at the time and still vividly recall my indescribable joy when Operation Desert Storm came into play. I watched in awe as the world's news organizations ran stories and videos of U.S. Marine and Kuwaiti Army tanks victoriously rolling into my city, their flags gloriously declaring victory. And I wept with relief when my siblings and I finally had the opportunity to embrace my parents for the very first time after they had chosen to remain in Kuwait despite the incredible sacrifices and daily threat to their lives. And finally, when I saw my best friend, who had volunteered as a translator with the 519th Military Intelligence Battalion, return home safely after entering enemy grounds. I'm happy to report today that, in fact, my best friend is here with us today, except that I'm proud to say that he's now my husband and father to our 3 beautiful kids. He wouldn't have been here today if it wasn't for the United States of America's support. I wouldn't have been here today if it wasn't for your support. I stand before you today representing the good people of my nation and reaffirming that we will never forget the human stories of service and sacrifice as exemplified by the brave men and women of the U.S. Armed Forces on and off the battlefields. And we will never forget the sacrifices of their extraordinary families. Stories that are too many to mention in the time I have with you on the podium today. but I will say this. Trust that we cherish and hold dear the strong and lasting bond of friendship and loyalty between our two nations. It is a bond forged by war, strengthened by peace, and further cultivated by mutual trust and respect. And as we celebrate and honor our brave ones today, it gives me great pleasure to announce that a special memorial is getting ready to be constructed in the heart of the U.S. Capitol to further commemorate the efforts of our armed American heroes. Located near two of the Capitol's most important memorials, the Vietnam War Memorial, the Veterans Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial, I invite you all to join us in May 2025, put it in your books from now, to celebrate the unveiling of your new memorial, the Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield Memorial. God bless you all, and happy Memorial Day.
Right here. He's right here. Step over that way a little bit. You're fine. Don't get him, girl. No one's looking at me. No one's looking at me. Anybody's looking at me?
We can't hear anything yet.
Do you have signal or no? Got it?
We don't have anything yet.
They got no signal yet. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, her current single, Worth It, has already accumulated millions of impressions. She is a Grammy-winning, multi-platinum selling artist who has surpassed more than 15 billion streams. Get crazy, loud welcome for Colbie Caillat.
Thank you.
There were more good days than bad, more smiles than tears. We were more happy than sad. When we were us, we were fierce. Somewhere along the way, lovers drifted apart. And even though I didn't stay, you have a place in my heart. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's so sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. You'll always be someone I miss and never will regret. Every touch and every kiss were the kind you don't forget. I can't put my finger on the reason it didn't work. We didn't do anything wrong. The fire just wouldn't burn. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's so sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. Loving you was easy, loving you was nice, but loving you was one side of a life. Leaving was a heartbreak, closing of a door. Can't blame us for wanting something more. It wasn't just me I did it for. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's still sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. Woo, no, no, no. No, 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 no. I know it wasn't perfect, perfect, no. Ooh, I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. Thank you so much. All right, you guys ready to dance with us a little bit? This is called Brighter Than the Sun. Stop me on the corner, I swear you hit me like a vision. I wasn't expecting, but who am I to tell fate where it's supposed to go with it? Don't you blink, you might miss it. See, we got a right to just love it, believe it, you find it and keep it, cause it ain't every day you get the chance to say, oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Oh, we could be the stars, falling from the sky, shining how it wants, brighter than the sun. Yeah. I've never seen it, but I found this love, I'm undefeated. You better believe I'm untreated, better than anything I've ever read, cause you're so damn beautiful. Read it, it's signed to deliver, let's hit it. Boy, we go together like peanuts and paydays and Molly and reggae, and everybody needs to get a chance to say, oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Oh, we could be the stars, falling from the sky, shining how it wants, brighter than the sun. Yeah, yeah. Well, everything is like a whiteout until you shake the shine down, even when the lights out. But I can see you go. I got my head up in the rafters. You got me happy ever after. Never felt this way before. Ain't felt this way before. I swear you hit me like a vision. I wasn't expecting, but who am I to tell fate where it's supposed to go? Oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Oh, we could be the stars, falling from the sky, shining how it wants, brighter than the sun. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Oh, this is how it starts. Lightning strikes the heart, goes off like a gun, brighter than the sun. Thank you so much, you guys.
All right, DC. No. One more time.
They don't know until they tell me to play your song.
Colbie, you're great. Nice job. He's watching me. Good.
Hello, hello. Check, 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 check.
We got something. We don't have any spike out here. Yep. We don't hear stock either. We do nothing.
Check. All right. How we doing?
Mic 6 open.
I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a round of applause for Colbie Caillat. All right, you can't miss him in this lime green jacket of his. Bursting onto the music scene in 2011 with the smash hit Keep Your Head Up. He is a multi-platinum selling, Emmy-winning artist whose catalog has accumulated billions of streams. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Andy Grammer.
Where'd Craig go? Where did he go? He was in the middle. He just ran.
Hey, let me know when you're ready for me.
there. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, let's hope we don't get shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer, a distinguished veteran of the United States Army, Hua. He recently released his deluxe album, God Family Country, which he credits as his firm foundations, and will embark on his headlining tour this fall. He also just released his memoir titled God Family Country, Soldier, Singer, Husband, Dad. There's a whole lot more to me. Ladies and gentlemen, in the country world, they don't get much bigger than this. Craig Morgan.
Where did all the people go? They got scared when the lights went low. I'll get you through it nice and slow while the world's spinning out of control. Afraid of what they might lose, might get scraped or they might get bruised. Yeah, you could try, but what the use? And that's why it's called a moment of truth. Yeah, I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. If you're thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be your soldier. Funny when times get hard, at the last moment when you're supposed to charge. Always on the longest yard. Oh, they feel the feet getting cold. Hiding here and hiding there. Find them underneath the stairs. Yeah, people hiding everywhere, trying to be as still as a stone. So I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. If you're thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be your soldier. I am a soldier. I wanna show you I'll try forever. I'm never gonna say surrender. I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. If you're thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be your soldier. I'll be your soldier. I'll be your soldier. Na 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 na. God bless the United States of America and those that serve it.
All right, so we've added a few accoutrements to our fashion here. We're going with the blue umbrella. A little bit of rain on our parade's not going to screw things up for us, is it? Wait, is it? Just double checking. All right, good to go. Craig, you sounded great. I know we had another one queued up, but when your guitar starts giving you a little buzz in your fingertips, that's just not going to work out so well. So, next I want to introduce to you our military best friend. This is a chef. Anytime you say chef in the military, you automatically have a best friend. Robert Irvine. At age 15, he joined the British Royal Navy. And during his military service, he decided he wanted to become an expert at becoming a chef, cooking for the troops, making them happy. No faster way to make the troops happy than to work right through their stomach. Now he has had Food Network shows that have been incredibly popular with his skills. And as a proud American citizen, he has become one of the entertainment industry's strongest supporters of our military. He's been named as Honorary Chef Petty Officer of the U.S. Navy. His nonprofit foundation seeks to support and honor our military heroes. We are honored to introduce a true friend of our uniformed men and women. Please, a warm welcome for Chef Robert Irvine.
I'm a Navy guy. We don't need umbrellas. First of all, it's a great honor to be here. I got into following the military for a very good friend of mine. He's sitting in the stands there wearing dark glasses, trying to look cool like me. His name's Gary Sinise. About 15 years ago, I started to work with Gary, and then I started my own foundation. That humming's not me, by the way. That's what's about to blow up in a minute. I started my own foundation, the Robert Irvine Foundation, to work alongside Gary Sinise and Joe. To be here is something special. Memorial Day means something really somber to me. It's special. We celebrate the lives of our fallen. And as a British Royal Navy, Royal Marine veteran, I'm humbled to be here. The person I want to bring up next is iconic. Joe Mantegna is, film, TV, you name it, he's done it. I just asked him if he would let me be like a murder victim in one of his shows. And he said yes. Please give a great warm welcome to Joe Mantegna.
Thank you very much. This is my 22nd year here in Washington, D.C. to be part of this concert and part of this parade. As I've learned over these years, this holiday is the most important holiday we celebrate in this country, because without this holiday, we have no reason to celebrate anything else. So it's a privilege to be here this Memorial Day. God bless this country, and I want to bring up my dear, dear friend who's been co-hosting this concert with me over these many years and also doing this parade through rain, through shine, and everything else. My dear friend, and also the man who started the Gary Sinise Foundation, which does so much for our veterans out there. My dear friend, Gary Sinise.
Doing the Memorial Day concert each year with Joe is one of the special moments of my year. And because so many of the people that we work with throughout the year are here to pay tribute to our fallen heroes. This particular year and every year, I think about my own family members who served in the military on both my side of the family, my wife's side of the family. And of course, I think of everyone who has sacrificed in freedom's defense to keep us safe and free. Freedom comes at a cost. People are willing to pay that price. People are willing to stand up and do something to keep us free. And I think we as citizens who benefit from the freedom that they provide, the least we can do is remember them each and every day. Every day should be Memorial Day in the United States of America. God bless you and God bless America.
It's amazing when the pages get wet. Hey, Chef, when you said the Navy, you guys don't need an umbrella. My involvement with the Army and the Air Force, we're just wise enough to carry one. Plus, you guys wear white. I mean, when you get white wet, really, what does it show? Nothing, okay? All right, give me 1 second here. Just a quick word about Gary Sinise and some of the actors who have come here to D.C. and taken their time. It means a lot, especially I live right next to Arlington National Cemetery, so a day doesn't go by where I don't walk down the street and look at the head markers and realize that we have a lot to give credit for and that our freedoms clearly came at a very hefty price. So when you have actors that do more than just act in a part that represents our military, but he actually puts the roof overhead of some of the folks that come home who've been banged up in war. So he puts his money where his mouth is, and there's more than a few actors who do that, and entertainers, as we've seen with Mr. Morgan out here today. It's nice to see. I wish in years ahead that these stands are packed with those folks who want to stand and represent and enjoy the freedoms that were given to them by someone else braver than them, and at least do something to pay it back. So, Gary, thank you very much for being here and for all you do. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your hand over your hearts if you would. And singing our national anthem today is Tech Sergeant Adam von Allman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well done, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Tech Sergeant, for that. And please welcome to present the invocation, Randall E. Kitchens, Chaplain Major General, United States Air Force. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you. Is that how you want the umbrella? That's fine.
No, I'm good. I invite you to join me in prayer. Almighty God, we are thankful for this day you have made, our freedom as a nation, and the privilege to celebrate those who defended and fought for our freedom but never came home alive. Lord, for 155 years our nation has observed this day in remembering our fallen, our patriots who shed their blood to refresh the tree of liberty and lay their ultimate sacrifice onto the altar of freedom. We honor and remember each one and their families who have suffered such a great loss. We ask that you bless this day, this Memorial Day parade that unfolds in a timeline that spans our wars and losses. Grant safety and peace to all. May we remember and never forget our heroes and fallen on this Memorial Day. We pray this in thy holy name. Amen.
Thank you, General. Please welcome to the podium one of the reviewing officials for today's parade, Major General U.S. Marine Corps. Any Marines? I'll know you're there. How did you and the Army get all mixed up? Ooh-ah, oorah. I don't understand. You guys just couldn't even get along on that. It's all good. Major General U.S. Marine Corps, retired, 12th NASA Administrator and Founder and CEO Emeritus, the Charles F. Bolden Group, the Honorable Charles Bolden, Jr., please.
Thanks for your gracious introduction, John. What an honor to be here with all of you for this 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, and especially to have three legends of the Apollo program as our Grand Marshals. It was September 12, 1962, when President John F. Kennedy stood in a crowded Rice University Stadium in Houston, Texas, and gave his famous "We Choose to Go to the Moon" speech, in which he pledged the United States would send men to the moon and bring them safely back to Earth, to assure that our nation would become an international leader in space exploration. He stated, and I quote, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard," unquote. We would lose the valiant Apollo 1 crew, Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee, in a dreadful fire in the crew module on the launch pad on January 27th, 1967, just a month prior to their scheduled launch. They are among the thousands of servicemen and women we celebrate and remember on this solemn Memorial Day. Despite this setback, however, we would go on to launch the Apollo 11 mission in July 1969 and land Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the lunar surface on July 20th, 1969, fulfilling President Kennedy's promise of landing on the moon before the end of the decade. When Neil and Buzz entered their lunar module for their ascent to the Apollo command module and the return to Earth, they left an American flag and a plaque which read, and I quote, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, in the year of our Lord. We came in peace for all mankind," unquote. Our three grand marshals for today's parade, Rusty Schweigert, Apollo 9, Charlie Duke, Apollo 16 and South Carolina, and Harrison Jack Schmidt, Apollo 17, are the embodiment of that unflappable spirit of exploration, a spirit that finds our nation again today preparing to return humans to the moon in the crew of the Artemis II mission, slated for launch in just over 2 years. When the crew of Commander Reed Weissman, pilot Victor Glover, and mission specialist Christina Hammett-Koch and Jeremy Hansen will fly to the moon aboard the Orion crew module. Once there, they will perform a lunar flyby in preparation for the eventual return of humans to the surface of the moon just 2 years later. Our missions to the moon 50 years ago inspired people across the globe like no events prior to that time, and proved that the human spirit is born to explore and achieve great things. They set the stage for this and future generations to carry on America's leadership in space exploration. As we continue our quest of exploration and chart our course for a return to the moon and then on to Mars, we pause today. We pause to honor the legends of Apollo and all the men and women of these great United States who served and made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation. We pray that we may live up to their example and do all we can to maintain the greatness of our nation. God bless all our departed servicemen and women, as well as those who wear the cloth of our nation today. And God bless America.
It's amazing when you think that we have astronauts here with us. Some of them went to the moon. How about this? 99.9% of the people who are glued to their cell phones on a daily basis, literally about 8 inches, you know who they are, that phone has 10 times more power than the lunar module had flying off to the moon. Would you trust something like that to climb into a capsule and launch into space with less technology than what you carry on a daily basis? And they did. You talk about brave. General, thank you for that. Please welcome now, from the presenting sponsor of the 2023 National Memorial Parade, the Boeing Company, President of Business Development for Boeing Defense, Space and Security Global Services, Heidi Grant. Heidi, come on up. Good to see you.
So, to our survivors of the fallen military, service members and families, veterans, distinguished guests from around the world that are gathered here today, it's an honor to be with you to commemorate Memorial Day. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can dampen the spirits of the parade participants, not even a little bit of rain today. So let me begin by first introducing you to the three Grand Marshals, the legends of the Apollo program, men who have walked the moon. First is Rusty Schweigert, Apollo 9. Next is Charlie Duke, Apollo 16.
I'm not Navy.
Jack Schmidt, Apollo 17. And along with our another NASA astronaut is Randy Bresnik. Welcome, Randy. Yeah. So on behalf of the Boeing Company, we're filled with patriotic spirit and gratitude to be here today at this Memorial Day parade, supporting American veterans for the center to guard our legacy and honor the sacrifice of the American veterans. As I traveled here, I thought about our loved ones, the sons, the daughters, brothers, sisters, spouses, and friends that voluntarily gave their lives for ours. We're here today because they volunteered to serve. You raised them to believe in something greater than themselves. You raised them to believe in America. I've heard countless service members' stories of sacrifice and recovery, and I'm so inspired and proud. Their sacrifices are immeasurable. May we never forget the debt of gratitude we owe them and their families. Having spent 32 years at the Department of Defense, I've seen firsthand what it means to serve, long separations, deployments, and loss. Let's renew our faith in our democracy and in the values that bind us together as Americans to keep citizens safe, to keep our nation safe, and to keep the world safe. God bless those who volunteered to be in harm's way, providing us every opportunity to advance freedom on behalf of a grateful nation. It's not lost on me that I'm surrounded here today by incredible Americans. We're surrounded every day by incredible Americans. It makes what Boeing does really matter. We provide the military and with advanced technologies to protect our freedoms and protect our warfighters. On Memorial Day, tomorrow, and the many days that follow, may we never forget their names or their stories. And may we never forget and lose sight of the extraordinary privilege it is to live in the land of the free because of the brave. Thank you. May God bless the fallen, their families, survivors, and United States of America.
Thank you. Sorry for the wet hand. Thanks, sir. Thanks.
Quick note is Memorial Day for many is just a day off where they go and barbecue, although today probably doesn't lend itself to that. Although I'm a smoker, so I'd be out put the smoker out in the morning and you leave it for 6 hours. But it's also a very difficult day. There are Gold Star families among us today, and a Gold Star family is somebody who's lost somebody in a time of war. This is the time and this is the day perhaps you reach out to somebody who's a Gold Star family, just give them a call, let them know you're thinking about them. It means the world to them so that they know that their sacrifice has not been forgotten. With that said, are we ready for a parade? Yes. I said, are we ready for a parade? What I expect from this crowd all along Constitution Avenue is to get crazy. These performers have come from all over the country. They've spent a great deal of money. Let's let them know that they're out there performing in the rain for you, that it means everything. So be loud all along the route. And with that said, we are streaming around the world live in just a matter of seconds. So with that said, let the parade begin. Enjoy.
As we begin, I'm telling you, we are this close to start this parade. We want to be grateful and give a little appreciation to all the people that have done so much in preparation, in particular the Metropolitan Police Department of Washington, D.C., and of course the great U.S. Park Police Department. They've been super. You know, we couldn't have done it without these great people helping us and their support and their assistance here in Washington, D.C., and so we are just about ready to kick off. And as my wonderful friend Jonathan Elias said, you got to get noisy in this parade. You worried about a little rain? Think about being in the trenches. Think about gunfire. Think about battles. We're going to get this going. Ladies and gentlemen, from Washington, D.C. on Constitution Avenue, welcome to the National Memorial Day Parade.
It's a great day. We would like it if the rain would turn off, but it doesn't matter. It's a drizzle. And folks have come from all over the country to be a part of this parade, so we welcome them, and we welcome all the fans lining Constitution Avenue to enjoy this parade. Welcome. Also, now, let's start things off with Tech Sergeant Adam Von Allman and the Memorial Day Festival Chorus under the direction of Mr. Sidney Hawksmia.
You go.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty, fruited plain, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. America,
And that is how you start a Memorial Day parade in the nation's capital,
There you
right
go.
at the heart and soul of it, with all the branches of our military here, with so many families who have members who have served and those who have sacrificed. It is great having you all here in Washington, D.C. for the Memorial Day parade. This is Constitution Avenue, so this really is one of the main veins of Washington, D.C. As we watch these folks behind us, they're operating in a drizzle with a little rain. It's not going to stop anything.
No, are you kidding? We're all still waving our flags and ready to go.
Got mine right over here. All right, Memorial Day Parade is presented to you by Boeing. We thank them very much for their sponsorship. Otherwise, this might not be possible. The American Veterans Center is honored to bring you the nation's largest Memorial Day Parade right here from Washington, D.C.
And I'm Blankita Cullum, and we welcome all of you joining us today, and a very special welcome to our service members.
Well, from the American Revolution to the generations who continue to serve our country proudly, today's parade honors these Americans who have served and sacrificed throughout our country's history. And now it is time, don't you think?
I think so.
It's time to have a parade.
It is.
Let's do it. In keeping with tradition, members of the Metropolitan Police Department, including an honor guard, are making their way down Constitution Avenue. They are signaling the official kickoff to the National Memorial Day Parade. And for those folks lining the route, please let all the performers today know how much you appreciate what they're doing, especially out with the rain.
Absolutely.
I'm over here by this gal. Yeah. This way forward, I'm just stop a little over. Okay.
Pretty fabulous.
Here are the members of the Metropolitan Police Department Cadet Corps, which is open to D.C. residents ages 17 to 24. Cadets working full-time, they receive college tuition and an annual salary.
Now, the cadet program currently consists of 124 cadets. They're looking to expand to 150. Now, those who are interested in joining the cadet program can visit mpd.dc.gov.
And carrying the lead parade banner are a group of very special women. They are Gold Star mothers.
Our hearts go with these mothers and their families, as this day is all about remembering and honoring the children that they have lost in active service of the United States Armed Forces, and all of those who have made the greatest sacrifice for our country. And from Utah, here is the Davis High School Marching Band, established in 1914. The band has a long history of excellence.
Under the direction of Michael Crookston, the band has played in the Rose Bowl Parade, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The band's motto is Life Lessons Through Music. Let's take a listen to these talented young musicians from Davis High School. Of military traditions in a full honor funeral is that of a riderless horse. The horse is led behind the caisson wearing an empty saddle with the rider's boots reversed in the stirrups. That indicates that the warrior will never ride again.
The riderless horse leads this parade annually, a reminder of the true meaning of Memorial Day and the sacrifices that were made for our freedom.
And we're joined now by the National Memorial Day Parade's Ceremonial Honor Guard, consisting of marching platoons from each branch of the United States Armed Forces.
These platoons are under the order of Joint Force Headquarters National Capital Region and are being led by the United States Air Force Band.
It is one of the finest military marching bands, the United States Air Force Academy Marching Band, since its formation in 1941. This world-class organization has inspired billions of listeners through its exhilarating music, programs, and recordings.
Joining us in this special opening tribute today are platoons from each branch of the armed forces, including the United States Army, the Marines, the Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Here is the Army's famed Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps from the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment. They're appearing in uniforms that were patterned after those worn by musicians in General George Washington's Continental Army.
18th century battlefield musicians. They wore the reverse colors of their units, which explains the bright red coats and the blue trim. Founded in 1960, this premier military musical organization proudly carries on the traditions created by George Washington's Continental Army. Next, we welcome the United States Park Police Horse-Mounted Unit. The Mounted Patrol Unit was founded in 1934. It is one of the oldest mounted patrol units in the entire United States.
50-foot Stars and Stripes flag is being carried by members of the Brooklyn College Veteran Student Organization.
A special thank you to all of our volunteers for carrying flags and banners throughout today's parade. And you got to feel for the ones that are carrying the flag and they're walking backwards. Nice job out there.
Sounds like Ginger Rogers.
That's right. Just as good as Fred, except backwards. Used to make me laugh when I heard that. They said Fred Astaire was an amazing dancer. I said, yeah, Ginger was better. She did it backwards in heels.
In high heels. Let's get the Ann Richards quote right.
All right, let's welcome the pride of the drive, the Athens Drive High School Marching Band from Raleigh, North Carolina. The band has won hundreds of awards, has performed at Carnegie Hall, Walt Disney World, the National Outback Bowl, and the Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day Parade. Let's listen to their talents. They sound great.
Wonderful.
You know, we talk about living legends and heroes. Well, we are lucky enough to have 3 of them in our midst. Honored to present the Grand Marshals of the 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, Legends of Apollo. Appearing on a float made possible by Boeing are astronauts Russell Schweickart from Apollo 9, Charles Duke from Apollo 16, and Jack Schmitt from Apollo 17. Only 4 living men have set foot on the moon, with Charlie Duke and Jack Schmitt the 2 most recent. American legends inspiring a new generation of explorers. Gentlemen, welcome.
And riding alongside and representing NASA is astronaut Randy Bresnik, a Marine Corps officer, F-18 pilot, and veteran of Iraq. On his most recent mission, he served as commander of the International Space Station for Expedition 2353. This year,
you think about what they did with Apollo. These guys climbed into a capsule, launched into space with enough technology that literally is less than a quarter of what you carry around on your cell phone.
Yeah, but I keep waiting for you to ask one of these astronauts, did he see Alice? Of course, those are people that remember Jackie Gleason when he used to say, to the moon,
to the moon.
Alice. Aren't they fabulous? You know, this year marks the continued 80th anniversary of World War II. We are really honored to be joined by surviving veterans of the war, serving as honorary Grand Marshals, and they are here to commemorate the 16 million Americans who served in the Second World War and the more than 400,000 who did not come home.
Joining them, he looks familiar, I'm sure, to a lot of you, as a longtime friend of the parade, actor Joe Mantegna. Joe has joined the National Memorial Day Parade each and every year from the very beginning, and for years riding alongside his late uncle, a World War II veteran of General Patton's 3rd Army. Joe, good to see you.
Yeah, we love Joe, and alongside Joe today is a paratrooper from the legendary 101st Airborne, a guy I personally absolutely love, Vince Speranza. A living legend. He recently spent his 98th birthday, get this, parachuting from a C-47 that had flown on D-Day. We were so honored to speak with our wonderful friend Vince Speranza before the parade.
101st, the Screaming Eagles, a famed group. And if you're not familiar with them, Band of Brothers was put together. Spielberg helped put that together. It's a series you can catch on Netflix. It's fantastic. It's all about the exploits of the 101st. To our surviving World War II veterans and all who have served, a heartfelt thank you. All right, the Frank Ballou Majestic Marching Knights from Washington, D.C. High energy, hard-stepping, award-winning band with heart and soul that uses music and hard work, discipline, and compassion to overcome all obstacles. The band has proudly appeared in the parade for more than a decade.
And they're really getting all around. They've appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, Good Morning America, the Today Show, and this is their, I guess their 11th year. They've been with us for more than a decade. They're led today by drum major Michael Thornton. Ladies and gentlemen, feel the soul of the blue and gold.
The next up, this is a rival from my high school back in the day. I was a Hart grad. This is Saugus, right next door to us. Appearing for the first time outside their home state of California, the Saugus High School marching band, the Centurions. This resilient band has overcome severe challenges over the past few years. They thank their parents, school administration, and the city of Santa Clarita for being there and getting them here today. Let's listen into the Marching Centurions. Our next float, I was just saying, it's heartening to see how unfazed all these young musicians are. They're soaking wet, and they're out there just banging it out, no problem.
And they don't drop the beat. That's
Not even
a
little bit. Our next float made possible by the Gary Sinise Foundation, funded by an actor and humanitarian. Gary Sinise has been in the scene in the military space for a long time, doing a lot of good. Yes. His nonprofit today, they honor the families of our fallen heroes. Each child and surviving spouse you see represent a military service member who is no longer with us. Today, we remember them and their sacrifice.
At the Gary Sinise Foundation, they not only honor the families of the fallen, they help our nation's most severely wounded military members, support our veterans, provide for the first responders, and so much more. They are impacting the lives of those who serve in the defense of freedom each and every day.
We encourage you to learn more about the impact and to support. You can visit the GarySiniseFoundation.org. And Gary, we thank you and your foundation for being here as one of Parade's great champions who has joined us nearly every year since its beginning. Thank you.
And we'll be right back with the National Memorial Day Parade right after this.
Here's a special message now from one of our key sponsors, Boeing.
On Memorial Day, we come together to honor the brave service members who gave their lives for our country. Let us never forget the debt of gratitude we owe them and their families. May their courage always inspire us to work towards a better and more peaceful world. All of us at the Boeing Company want to thank the American Veterans Center for your ongoing commitment to our veterans and for making this parade possible.
And the 2023 National Memorial Day Parade is brought to you by Boeing, also U-Haul and Alpha Prime.
And also the American Veterans Center. Join our opportunity here to preserve their legacy by going to AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
All right, let's get back to the parade. Take a look at what's going on Constitution Avenue right now. And the pride of Schellenberg Shorten Marching Band. They're from Schellenberg, Texas, made up of students in grades 8 through 12. And for the last 3 years, the band has actually scored superior ratings at UHL concert and sight reading competitions. You know how hard it is to be a musician and sight read? Literally, they put the sheet in front of you. These are kids that are 8 through 12 years old. That's
from Schulenburg, Texas.
Schulenburg, Texas. The band made this trip happen through fundraising and donations so that no student had to pay anything. They give a huge thank you to the Schulenburg American Legion Post.
We thank American Airlines, the official airlines of the National Memorial Day Parade.
In addition to training and pairing service dogs with our warriors, Pause for Purple Hearts offers an innovative service dog training program that teaches warriors with trauma-related conditions the skill of training service dogs for veterans with war-related injuries. In 2008, the first canine-assisted warrior therapy program was established in California, and due to the program's success, Pause for Purple Hearts expanded to Washington, D.C. Today, Pause for Purple Hearts has 6 facilities across the United States and has directly improved the lives of 11,000 service members.
The DeLand High School Marching Band Bulldogs, they proudly present and represent the state of Florida and the best little small-town community in the South, DeLand. The Marching Bulldogs consistently earn superior ratings in all evaluations and perform in all their community events, of course at football games and 4 local parades each year. The DeLand High School Band program is over 100 years old and is the largest, most successful student organization at the school. Let's salute the director of the band's Monica Limer, and the principal is Mike DeGilromo. Go Bulldogs!
So here we're so honored to have Craig Morgan joining us. So first, would you please introduce yourself and why are you here today?
Well, I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm here to sing as part of the celebration, memorializing those men and women who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, to them and their families. That's why I'm here.
And what's your message to the younger generation? Why should we keep honoring our fallen?
My message to the younger generation is join the military. Serve your country. Don't be scared of getting hurt. And in doing so, you will learn and you will become more educated and you'll become more grateful and you'll become more experienced in life and you'll have opportunities that you can't get anywhere else in the world and under any other occupation like you can if you serve in the military. And when you do that, you'll have a greater appreciation for those who have made that ultimate sacrifice that we're here tonight or today celebrating.
And is there any reason that makes you think that this message is especially important in this day and time?
Well, I'll tell you why it's important, because right now our recruiting is at the lowest it's ever been in the history of our military. So it's important that we have men and women continue to serve in our military, because if we do not have a strong military, we will become a weakened country. And without that, and the weaker we become, the stronger the enemy becomes. And in order for us to maintain the freedoms that we do celebrate, and I can tell you I've been in over 60 or almost 90 different countries now, and none of them have the freedoms that we do, not like we do. And so it's important that we keep doing that.
Craig Morgan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
American Veterans Center producing the parade and they've done it now annually for almost 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. Almost 20 years. Go to AmericanVeteransCenter.org. And you know what? Now let's just go back to the parade on Constitution Avenue right here in our nation's capital.
If you're out on the parade route and you want to put something on Twitter, hashtag NMD Parade. Get it out there. Let's get in circulation. Let everybody know you're watching. Here we go. The Mineola High School Marching Band. They're joining us from Long Island, New York. The band is the reigning New York State Field Band champions. They are proud to march in today's parade. The band thanks their community for their support that got them here. Let's take a listen.
Did you have to say raining?
Mm-hmm. sound great.
I love that band.
Welcome to D.C. Well, we're honored to introduce you to our next float featuring family members who have lost loved ones that have served in our armed forces. The Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, which is known as TAPS, provides hope, help, and healing to those grieving the death of a service member. The families you see in this parade represent over 100,000 members of the TAPS family, where the life of a service of our nation's heroes will never be forgotten.
Now, if you look on the parade float, you're going to see Bonnie Carroll. She is the founder and the president of TAPS. And look who's joining her. A good friend of Bonnie's and a great friend of ours is the super chef, Robert Irvine, a longtime friend of the parade. We love him. Wave to Robert. There he is.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. Chris and I both grew up in military families. Chris's family has served in combat since World War I, and my father, my hero, rests in peace on the hallowed grounds of our own.
We're glad to have with us Duncan Graham, and then let's tell us, what's your story?
So I'm a former Navy sonar technician. I was on destroyers during Beirut, Lebanon, and the Grenada issues. Didn't see a lot of action, I guess, if you will say that. But I spent my 10 years in the service supporting all of the nation's requirements. Support the Constitution, support the sailors and Marines that were in Beirut at the time in 1982, and did my part to help keep our country safe.
So what does Memorial Day mean to you, and why do you think it's an important tradition to keep honoring it?
Well, Memorial Day, it's the time to honor those that have gone before us. Those 1% of the population that have A, served, B, continue to serve, those that have passed in service. They have, the ultimate sacrifice is what this Memorial Day is all about. It started, if I remember correctly, just after the Civil War by the Union soldiers as a commemorative to get together to celebrate that they made it through the fight. I could be wrong, but that's... It symbolizes the United States. It is our way of honoring those that went before us.
Finally, any message to current service members or our veterans?
Well, to the veterans, I always appreciate your service. I am one of you, and to those that are currently serving, thank you, and continue to serve. Don't think that for whatever political idiocy may be going on in the world, you are still needed, you're still appreciated, and I would serve again to help you.
Thank you so much, Duncan, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Please welcome the South Callaway High School Bulldog Pride Band from the great state of Missouri, the Show Me State. They've come to show us. Under the direction of Dustin Holland, the band was named the Class 2A Missouri State Marching Band champs this year. The band is celebrating its 63rd year and consistently earns top honors and rankings. Let's take a listen.
And I hear another great band coming up. And that would be from West Jordan, Utah. Please join us in welcoming the Copper Hills Mighty Marching Grizzlies. They're representing the Beehive State. The band is one of the oldest and most active groups on campus. These young musicians can be heard year-round, performing constantly both on and off the field, showcasing countless hours of practice in a variety of contexts, from musical theater to symphonies. Well, the Marching Grizzly Band is known for their overwhelming energy and impeccable sound. Let's take a listen. Thank these parade volunteers for carrying the banner that will recognize those that we lost in the War of 1812.
We're going back to California now. The San Pedro High School Golden Pirate Regiment is from beautiful San Pedro, California. San Pedro is a storied Los Angeles city, famous for the Port of Los Angeles and its working class and military history, home to major shipping ports for all the West Coast and housing for our U.S. Air Force. It was founded in 1903. The Golden Pirate Regiment at San Pedro High School has been a part of the fabric of the San Pedro community since the school's inception. They sound great. Let's listen.
Arg, as the pirates say.
Arr. The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by the state of Kuwait.
Look at this. Leading a replica of the Star-Spangled Banner from down in Constitution Avenue is Old Hickory himself, General Andrew Jackson. Long before becoming president, Jackson won a decisive victory at the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the War of 1812. Andrew Jackson is being portrayed today by Tim Marone.
And General Jackson is followed by an oversized replica Star-Spangled Banner. Just after dawn on September 14, 1814, the attacking British saw the American flag still flying over Fort McHenry in Baltimore despite the rocket's red glare. It is brought to you by the Sightline Military Times.
And you know, the side of the flag signaled that their attack had failed, and the Americans had won the battle. The flag is being carried by members of the Civil Air Patrol.
You can actually see that flag, the real one, at the History Museum here in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
From the Sunshine State of Florida, here is the Jupiter High School Spirit of Jupiter Marching Band, a 4-time state champion, 15-time state finalist. The band consistently ranked superior and was voted the best band in Palm Beach by the Associated Press. We have to listen to them because they sound great.
They do. with malice toward none, with charity for all. Let us strive on to finish the work that we're in, to bind up the nation's wounds. These words were so eloquently spoken by President Abraham Lincoln during his second inaugural address, and clearly demonstrates his devotion towards healing a shattered and broken nation.
A difficult task to preserve the Union back in 1861, yet that's what Lincoln did. President Lincoln portrayed today by Don Mullen. He is riding in a carriage pulled by a draft horse from Harmon's Carriages and Training in Brandy Station, Virginia. Welcome, Mr. President.
Absolutely. You need that top hat.
And sponsored by Xfinity, this flag coming down the street is a replica of the famous Bennington flag, evoking the spirit of '76. The Bennington flag is brought to you by Comcast and carried by members from Civil Air Patrol.
And the actual relic flag is on display in Bennington, Vermont. The flag measures 15 by 20 feet and is among the most distinctive flags of the Revolutionary period. The Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War was formed in 1881 to carry on the traditions and memory of the Grand Army of the Republic. It was a fraternal organization of the United States soldiers and sailors who fought in the Civil War to preserve our Union.
And General John Logan, Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Army of the Republic, started Decoration Day on May 30th, 1868, to honor those who gave their lives to preserve the Union in the Civil War. We now call Decoration Day Memorial Day. Please welcome female reenactors of distinction known as Freed from the African American Civil War Museum here in Washington, D.C. They marched to represent the unknown or forgotten ladies of the Civil War era who made major contributions to educational, medical, artistic, and social makeup of our nation.
Freed seeks to teach our shared American history to our next generation of leaders so they might understand their responsibility to our nation's destiny.
We're so honored to have Charlie Duke, a Apollo 16 astronaut, with us. So tell us about your story and what makes Memorial Day significant to you.
Well, let me start with the end of your question. Memorial Day is very important to me because my father joined the Navy right after Pearl Harbor and spent 2 years in the South Pacific, not in combat, but supporting the combat troops. And so I grew up a small town in South Carolina while he was gone, idolizing the military and all of the heroes that were giving their lives, and so that motivated me to a career in the military. And so I ended up in the Naval Academy, then I could go into the Air Force and spent 29 years active in reserve. So Memorial Day is very, very special to me. A lot of people gave their lives, had the courage to step up and to accept the risk. And so it's amazing when you look back at what our country did in those 3 years of really arming the world and sending so many men and women into combat. So it was very, very special.
And because you are a moonwalker, so I have to ask you this. How was it like? How did it feel? What is it like for you and your family looking forward?
Well, it was a big moment in our lives. There were only 12 of us who got to walk on the moon, and the adventure, the awe, the wonder of stepping onto the moon and to looking out at this terrain and say, nobody's ever been here before. It was very, very exciting, wonder, awe, exhilarating, all of those emotions that you go through as you step into an adventure you never thought you would have, and here you are. So it's unforgettable, really.
And looking back, you were talking about the spirit, right? The courage. How do you think those inspirations could help our country in this day and age?
Well, I think we need men and women with courage to step forward and accept the risk and move our country in a direction that would be a godly direction, and also to it would motivate our younger kids to see dads and moms and uncles and aunts, everybody just stepping up and saying, okay, I'm going to help out with whatever I can do to make this a great country.
Thank you so much, Charles Duke.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the service.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to serve. Okay.
The term "don't get cranky."
That's exactly right. From the Lone Star State of Texas,
Yeehaw!
Here's the Hondo High School Mighty Owl Band. The band, which began in 1951, has a current 33-year streak of superior ratings under the leadership of Army bandsman Al Sturcio. Let's take a listen.
I knew his father. The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, presented by Boeing, is brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals and by the American Veterans Center. Join our mission to preserve their legacy at AmericanVeteransCenter.org. And here he is, marching, bully, President Theodore Roosevelt, who gained acclaim by leading the famed Rough Riders during the Spanish-American War. He was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his legendary and daring charge of San Juan Hill, and is the only president to receive the medal. Of course, he did his recruiting in San Antonio.
And when you're president, you can give yourself medals. That's how it works. His son, Theodore Roosevelt Jr., received the Medal of Honor after leading troops ashore in Normandy on D-Day, which was June 6, 1944. Thank you to Michael Levick for his portrayal of President Roosevelt today, the Rough Rider. And the first U.S. voluntary Cavalry Regiment Rough Riders was formed in 1978 to provide a living memorial to later President Theodore Roosevelt and his gallant volunteer regiment. This group from Tampa, Florida is both charitable and historical society whose mission is to keep alive the historical contributions of Theodore Roosevelt and the men who served alongside him.
I've got my teddy bear.
We're very honored to have Dorothy Duke, the wife of Apollo 16 astronaut Charlie Duke, with us today. So, Dorothy, tell us about your story.
Well, I met Charlie numbers of years ago in Boston, and we got married, and I didn't know I was going to be marrying an astronaut, but just a few years later, he was selected by NASA to be an astronaut, and we moved to Houston, Texas.
So what does Memorial Day mean to you and your family?
Well, Charlie was Air Force and continued to be Air Force even though he was at NASA. He was kind of on loan, and just my father was in the war, World War II. My husband's father, Charlie's father, was in World War II, and so we admire all the military, all the ones especially that fought and gave their lives. So Memorial Day is a wonderful time to remember that and give honor to the people that gave so much of their lives to serve the country, and we need to show them appreciation. They deserve it.
And as NASA, as we know, is preparing for the next generation of moonwalkers through its Artemis program, what's your message to future astronauts, current astronauts, or the families of astronauts?
Well, let's see. What would be my advice? I guess just to support them. I try to do that, to support Charlie and what he was doing, encourage them. Also, I would like to encourage the ones that are the astronauts to not to forget their families and consider the families part of the mission too, that they're working together with you for your flight. And so they're part of the flight too, just to make sure that the families are appreciated and work together with that.
Dorothy, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, glad to be here. Thank you. Have a happy Memorial Day.
You too.
Thank you.
The D.C. Fire and EMS Department is proud to welcome back to the National Memorial Day Parade to Constitution Avenue. Your nation's capital is well protected by D.C.'s bravest, who work each and every day to ensure the District of Columbia residents and guests are protected and healthy. They have provided support to the parade for many years and are humbled to take this moment to reflect on, remember, and to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
I love these people. God bless them. A little rain doesn't faze them at all. Bring it on. We're marching. God bless America. God bless our troops. Please welcome the Blue Star Mothers of America Incorporated. They were formed in 1942 during World War II. The Blue Star Mothers are military mothers supporting their sons and daughters who are currently serving, as well as providing support for our veterans, Gold Star mothers, Gold Star families, and support of each other. They take pride in the fact that their organization has been providing service for the past 81 years, and they welcome all military moms into their organization.
And we thank the state of Qatar for their sponsorship and participation in today's parade.
Well, this is a special band. They're from Louisiana. They're the Lakeshore High School school band, and you know what? They are often called the little band that could. Now, although they're just comprised of less than 45 members, they participate in about 7 Mardi Gras parades, 2 Christmas parades, at least 2 or 3 other community events a year. The members participate in several ensembles, including marching, jazz, and concert bands, as well as winter guard, indoor percussion, and winds. They're under the direction of Craig Byers. This is the Lakeshore Titan Band's second appearance here at the National Memorial Day Parade, and let's take a listen to that little band that could.
To remember those we lost in World War I.
Yeah, I love that banner.
The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade is presented by Boeing and brought to you by DSS Inc. Veterans in Defense of Liberty. The World War I segment of the parade is sponsored by American Airlines. World War II. I apologize. World War II.
The rain got on your page.
That's what it was. It smeared the page.
That's a live parade for you, folks. Service flags were first hung in the windows of American homes during the First World War. A blue star on the white field signifies a family member who is currently serving. A gold star signifies a family member who has died in their service.
Among the most solemn symbols of the Memorial Day holiday, this Gold Star banner is carried by members of Amazon veteran employees. Thank you to Sunbelt Rentals for bringing us today's Gold Star flag. On April 16, 2021, the American flag was raised for the first time over the newly dedicated World War I Memorial in Pershing Park. That's in Washington, D.C. The memorial is dedicated to the 4.7 million Americans who served during the war and the 116,000 who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Among the National Memorial Day Parade's strongest advocates was the last surviving member and veteran of the First World War, Frank W. Buckles. He joined the National Memorial Day Parade prior to his passing in 2011. Today, Doughboy reenactors join the parade in his honor and the honor of all who served. Remember, over there, we'll be over. We're coming over, and we won't come back till it's over there. Joining us from Florida, the Pasco High School Marching Band. They're taking their moment on Constitution Avenue. This consistently superior rank band is under the direction of Mr. Kyle Spence. Let's give them their time on Constitution Avenue and listen. Joining us now is the Women's Marine Association, a nonprofit charitable association comprised of women who have served or currently serving in the United States Marine Corps regular or reserve components.
The Women's Marines Association was established in 1960 to ensure that the legacy and history of all women who have worn the uniform and earned the title of Marine would be shared to influence the next generation of Marines. And from South Carolina, here are the Blue Ridge High School Corps of Cadets Marching Band. This Class 3A marching band holds 8 state championship titles and is a pillar of the Blue Ridge and Greer communities. Let's take a listen to the sounds of this rapidly growing band program. Now walking down the route is Russ Adams. He's portraying Colonel Paul Tibbets. He was the pilot of the B-29 Enola Gay that dropped the first bomb on Japan that ended the war.
When the National World War II Memorial was dedicated on the 2004 Memorial Day weekend, the American Veterans Center helped to organize a parade in honor of the World War II veterans in attendance.
And it was out of that parade that the National Memorial Day Parade was born. Reborn, I should say. Leading this salute to our greatest generation are flags representing the original 26 Allied nations of World War II. The flags are being carried by Civil Air Patrol, the official auxiliary of the United States Air Force, which just last year celebrated its 75th anniversary. A special thank you to Paws for Purple Hearts for being one of the sponsors for today's parade.
During the Second World War, the United States and the Republic of China formed a friendship that continues to this day. Today, the ROC, known as Taiwan, remains a steadfast friend and partner in democracy and human rights. This 50-foot Taiwan flag commemorates that partnership. A special thank you to TechPro for their sponsorship. It's being carried by members from the Veteran Affairs Council, ROC, Taiwan.
Next up is U-Haul, the original veteran moving company.
Are several living American treasures surviving veterans of World War II. Among those on
We would like to thank Music Celebrations International for coordinating all of the bands in today's parade and for being a parade sponsor. From Concord, North Carolina, let's welcome the Cox Mill Spirit of Cox Mill High School Marching Band. The school and band began back in 2009. They performed a lot of places, such as Bands of America regional events, Walt Disney World, and the North Carolina State Music Educators Conference. Let's take a listen to what they do. Sound great. Hey, thank you to Tyler Perry for introducing the story of our next float, honoring the legacy of the 6888 Postal Directory Battalion. Unknown for decades, their story was championed by retired Navy Commander Carlton Philpott, leading to their eventual receiving of the Congressional Gold Medal. The women veterans appearing today owe their opportunities to the trails blazed by the 855 women of the 6888.
And I have the distinct honor and the great privilege to talk about one of the great veterans on the float, my dear friend, Major General Angela Salinas, the U.S. Marine Corps retired. She's a woman of many firsts. She made history as the first Latina selected and promoted to the general officer ranks in the U.S. Marine Corps. At the time of her retirement, she was a senior ranking woman and senior Hispanic in the Corps. Currently, General Angie Salinas is the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas. Semper Fi, mi amiga, te queremos mucho. You go, Angie. Now, the National Memorial Day Parade 2023 coming down the road.
It's been coming down the road.
And the National Memorial Day Parade 2023, presented by Boeing, is also brought to you by the Lions Club International. Service from the heart. Together we can. You know, the National Moment of Remembrance established by Congress is something that we take very important to our hearts in this parade.
There's no question about it. It's nice that the parade did come back for a short time. It was suspended.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back, and it's such a nice parade to have. Obviously, we would love to have better weather for it, but in years past, it's been scorching out here.
Yes.
We have the parade. It's been drizzling. We have the parade.
And we'd like to say again that the National Moment of Remembrance established by Congress asks all Americans, all of you, to pause at this time to remember in an act of American unity those we have lost for Memorial Day.
And there's so much we owe them and a thanks that we can never repay, but at least we can take the time to think about their sacrifices. And right now the National Memorial Parade is going to participate in that moment, coming to a complete stop, with taps being played in honor of all those who have sacrificed their lives for our freedom and for our country. Wherever you are, we ask that you please join us in this moment of silence.
Good afternoon. We're on Constitution Avenue, right across from the National Archives in our nation's capital. And the National Memorial Day Parade is taking place right behind me despite some light rain. Before turning to more of our wonderful marching bands and veteran units, let's take a listen at what representatives of NTD Television and the Epoch Times had to say earlier at the main stage of the parade about protecting the American spirit and our mission. Let's take a listen.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. Chris and I both grew up in military families. Chris's family has served in combat since World War I, and my father, my hero, rests in peace on the hallowed grounds of Arlington National Cemetery just across the river from here, among the many heroes who have fallen before him. Chris and I know firsthand the sacrifices those in uniform and their families make to protect our God-given freedoms. We were raised with similar core values, where an undying love for our country was instilled in us at an early age. As we remember our heroes today, we're struck with the fundamental question, what do you truly love? And what are you willing to sacrifice to protect it? We love this great nation, the land of the free, the home of the brave. We love the ideals upon which it was founded: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and justice for all. We also love the opportunities this great nation has provided to generations of immigrants seeking a better way of life, such as those who founded the Epoch Times and NTD News. Having escaped the oppressive grip of communism, they recognize the transformative power of the freedom of speech and the vital importance of preserving the principles that make America exceptional.
We at the Epoch Times and NTD know that journalism in its purest form plays a vital role in safeguarding the very essence of our democracy. It has the ability to hold those in power accountable, to shine a light on injustices, and to amplify the voices of the marginalized. Journalism also has the power to deliver hope and optimism during times when it's needed most. We love what we do and we work tirelessly around the clock, sleeping in the office to serve the American people. But as our heroes in uniform demonstrate time and time again, love alone is not enough. Love must be met with action, dedication, and sacrifice. It is a force that compels us to rise up and defend what we hold dear. Let us never forget the patriots who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect those freedoms. May we devote all that we have to serve the America we love, just as the brave men and women who served before us did and who we honor today. May God bless our troops, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today.
And include many
Chris and I both grew up in military.
From 1955 to 1979, many of their memories have built up long-term great friendships with U.S. service friends when the joint forces were protecting Taiwan from communists. In past years, the association has actively been participating in many activities here with their friends of veterans groups to promote the mainstream events in the Chinese community.
Also, thank you to Leidos for being one of the parade partners.
The Mount Pleasant High School Marching Kilties are thrilled to represent Providence, Rhode Island for the first time in the National Memorial Day Parade. This group has performed at festivals across southern New England, including musicians with a variety of different backgrounds, including some who just beginning to learn how to play the instrument this year. Their success has been published in music education magazines such as Teaching Music and Rhymer. Director Lucchini, who founded the band in 2014, was nominated for the Providence Teacher of the Year in 2022. Let's listen to the Marching Kilties.
And parade volunteers carry this banner to remember those we lost in the Korean War. The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade presented by Boeing is brought to you by the State of Kuwait. Epic Times. The Vietnam segment of the parade is sponsored by Sunbelt Rentals.
Our next float features honored guests, American veterans of the Korean War. It's made possible by Veterans in Defense of Liberty, a national brotherhood of veterans bound by their lifelong oath to support and defend our Constitution. In addition to our Korean War veterans, the float honors their brothers and sisters from the Revolution to the present, who sacrificed their lives to preserve our God-given rights and liberty.
And in 2022, a new wall of remembrance was dedicated at the Korean War Memorial on the National Mall. If you've not been and seen that recently, you should definitely take a time and go check it out. It includes the names of the 43,000 service members and those who fought alongside Americans that were killed in that war.
Well, you know, it's often referred to as the Forgotten War. The Korean War was one of the deadliest conflicts in American history, with more than 128,000 casualties. Last summer, the new Wall of Remembrance dedicated at the Korean War Memorial on the National Mall, as you just mentioned, includes the names of 43,000 service members killed in that war.
And here are members from the Korean War Veterans Association. There are about 400,000 Korean War veterans alive today, but the average age, 92 years old.
Wow.
The Jeep and float are carrying Korean War veterans, and they are joined by Korean American veterans who fought for the Republic of Korea, but since the end of war have moved now to the United States and they've become citizens. The Korean American women accompanying them are wearing the traditional hanbok dress.
Let's welcome the Marching Mustangs from Mount Vernon High School in Mount Vernon, Iowa. They regularly appear in the Chicago Thanksgiving Day Parade. And guess what? We have to give them an extra listen because this is their first time in the parade this year.
Welcome.
Woo, good drums.
Now leading our salute to the generation who served in Vietnam is one of America's great heroes, Medal of Honor recipient, Sergeant First Class Melvin Morris.
Sergeant First Class Morris was shot 3 times after advancing to retrieve a fallen comrade. Decades later, he would be recognized with the highest award for valor. Kentucky. Let's make way for the Muhlenberg County High School Band. Now here's what you need to know about this band. Their band programs have produced such talents as the Everly Brothers.
What?
Merle Travis, Guy Drake, James Best, and that great actor Warren Oates, just to name a few. Hey, let's enjoy this award-winning band.
Talent in their DNA.
No kidding.
Our next float features very special guests, former prisoners of war from Vietnam, released 50 years ago in 1973. Today, we are honored to welcome home 3 American service members held as prisoners of war in Vietnam, released exactly 50 years ago.
We have Captain Charlie Plum, U.S. Navy pilot of 74 missions, shot down on his 75th. He was held prisoner for 6 years, and then he served as chaplain to his fellow prisoners. Now this you'll be amazed at. Rear Admiral Robert Shoemaker, naval aviator, spent 8 years and 1 day as a POW, but Admiral Robert Shoemaker devised the tap code that the prisoners used to communicate. What a brilliant man.
Genius. And Air Force Colonel Hubert Walker was shot down in 1968 and held for 5 years and 2 months and awarded the Silver Star for his heroism. This float honoring our Vietnam POWs is presented in partnership with the United States of America Vietnam War Commemoration. To our Vietnam veterans, we thank you for your service. All right, now let's welcome
drums. Yes, the Douglas High School Marching Band from Minden, Nevada, under the direction of Mark Porter. Recently, they took first place in the Single A division of the Sierra Nevada Band Series. This is their fourth trip to D.C. after participating in the inaugural parade in 1981, 1989, 2001, and 2005. Let's take a listen.
Say Minden has a small marching band, but Minden is a small town, just a stone's throw from Tahoe. Some of the best skydiving you'll find because of the thermals out there.
Yeah, but they got some great musicians.
They look great and they sound great. All right, we want to thank Costco for being one of the parade sponsors for today. So many generous sponsors, and we thank you for helping us put this parade back down Constitution Avenue.
Don't you love all the variety of these bands?
100%.
From West Virginia, here's the Braxton County High School Marching Band that was established in 1969 when the 4 high schools in Braxton County, they were consolidated into one. We are proud to present one of their state songs. You know it. It's Take Me Home Country Roads, originally released by the late John Denver in 1971. This version that they're playing was arranged by Matt Conaway in 2022. The band is under the direction of Lydia Gibson.
And now please welcome the Epic Times, devoted to America's principles of truth, freedom, liberty, and human rights. Epic Times was founded by Chinese immigrants and turned proud Americans. Visit them at Epic Times and their sister media, NTD, which is simulcasting today's parade live stream.
And I want to make sure that everyone knows their bywords: truth, compassion, and forbearance. They fought for religious freedom against Chinese communists. They survived brutality that you can't imagine. On that float, you're seeing the great Yang Yakelik, the host of American Thought Leaders, and Lin Lin, the executive producer of a daily show on Epic TV and NTD. Parade volunteers carry this banner to remember those that we lost in Operation Desert Storm.
The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, presented by Boeing, is also brought to you by Pause for Purple Hearts. Also want to thank Leidos, a Fortune 500 tech company, engineering and science solution leader, for sponsoring lunch to 1,000 active duty personnel participating in the parade. Leidos is working to solve the world's toughest challenges in the defense, intelligence, civil, and health markets.
On this Memorial Day, we stand with the people of the U.S. to pay our respect to the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice and services of their country. Qatar hosts Al Udeid Air Base, home of the U.S. Central Command Forward Command, and more than 11,000 American servicemen and women. These brave troops work shoulder to shoulder with the Qatari service members in efforts to promote regional security. We are proud to be partners in peace for our region and across the world, and we commemorate them on this day of remembrance.
A special thanks to the state of Qatar.
And again, that was the ambassador of Kuwait to the United States, Ambassador Al-Saba, because Kuwait remembers our Gulf War veterans, and we thank them for participating loyally every year.
All right, let's welcome now One Band, One Sound, Pittsburgh All-City Marching Band. Look at that, the flags they're flying around out there. This band is comprised of 7th through 12th graders from 3 schools: Pittsburgh Alderdice High School, Pittsburgh Brashear High School, and Pittsburgh Obama Academy. The All-City Marching Band was established to showcase the talents of Pittsburgh's public schools. Let's take a listen.
The next float is brought to us by the state of Kuwait. The next float is brought to us, as we've been bragging about, by the state of Kuwait. You know, they are among the parade's earliest and strongest supporters. The people of Kuwait wish to convey their deep appreciation for those who served and those who fell in the fight to liberate their country. Kuwait remembers our Gulf War veterans. On behalf of the people of Kuwait, we've had the following...
During the first Gulf War. In 1990-1991, we Kuwaitis watched in amazement and admiration as the U.S. Armed Forces put themselves in harm's way to liberate my country. And ever since that day, we've had a very special place in our hearts and our minds for the U.S. and its armed forces. And that's why we're here today, on Memorial Day. And we will always be here to say thank you.
And the National Desert Storm War Memorial Association is honored to host a group of veterans who served on active duty during Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm in 1991.
The Gulf War, which was the successful liberation of Kuwait in 1991, was the result of a coalition of 34 nations. These veterans are part of the mission to build the National Desert Storm and Desert Shield War Memorial on the National Mall right near the Lincoln and Vietnam War Memorials. Thank you to our Gulf War veterans for your honorable service more than 30 years ago. Remember when they were here on the mall? Yeah, we're talking about Ramsey High School Big Blue Band and Guard. They're from Ramsey, New Jersey. They're made up of 125 musicians and color guard members. The band has won numerous awards, participated in performances all over the world. The Ramsey Band has performed in Washington, D.C., Japan, London, and most recently, Mamma Mia, they performed in Rome. The band thanks the parade committee, and they thank them for this great honor of inviting them to participate in this year's National Memorial Day Parade.
Boy, the Big Blues sound great. You can see and hear why they've won so many accolades.
No
Nicely
kidding.
done. The 101st Division, Screaming Eagles, started in 1942, at which time it was observed that the 101st has no history, but has a rendezvous with destiny. Time and time again, the 101st has kept the rendezvous, and in so doing, acquired a proud history. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, the 101st Pathfinders became the first Americans to set foot in occupied France. They fought in the Battle of the Bulge. They fought on Utah and Omaha Beach. Operation Market Garden. They captured Hitler's Mountain Retreat. Joining them is Central Virginia Mustang Club, a nonprofit society to promote the safe and enjoyable use of all Mustangs, Fords, and Ford-powered vehicles. We thank them.
From Pennsylvania, here's the Washington High School Prexies Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Stephen Cherry, along with the Assistant Director, Mr. Jeffrey Schmidt, Percussion Instructor, Mr. Nicholas Riedmeiler, and Majorette Instructor, Mrs. Justine Nielsen. The Prexies Band has a rich history of appearing throughout the country over the United States over the years. Performances such as the Junior Orange Bowl and Disney World Parades in Florida, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City, and other parades and band festivals throughout the tri-state area.
When you see this next truck, you know exactly who it belongs to. Mission Barbecue is known for its traditional American BBQ and for our mission to serve those who serve. Each location supports the Global War on Terrorism, Memorial Foundation, as well as other military, veteran, and first responder organizations in our community. Every day at noon, the entire restaurant comes to a screeching halt where they play the national anthem to honor our country. Mission Barbecue offers customized catering for all parties of all sizes, and our authentic deuce-and-a-half military truck is outfitted with a fully operational smoker that can roll in and feed your army. Visit mission-barbecue.com for more information. The husband and wife that started this group, they are patriots through and through. They have done so much to help the military, and I got to be honest, they have some of the best prime rib. You got to get on the weekend for that it's a black plate special, and it's the barbecue prime rib. It's amazing.
I thought they were going to do a drive-by here.
I was hoping they'd drop a few ribs off.
Yeah. Well, the Maryville High School Marching Spoof Hounds, you heard that right, from Maryville, Missouri. They're a supportive community of about 12,000, and it's home to the world-renowned Northwest Missouri State University. Now, the unique Spoof Hound mascot is a reference to a toy dog from the 1920s. Now, the legend states that there was a disgruntled football coach that called his team just a bunch of spoof hounds. And you know what? It stuck. The Marching Spoof Hounds, drumline, color guard, symphonic band, and jazz band. Well, they win many awards every year due to a culture of hard work passed down from generations.
The mighty Spoof Hounds.
I love them too much.
I've got to get a shirt. I've got to have one.
Oh, no, we both do. But I'll have barbecue stains on mine.
Parade volunteers carry this banner saluting today's military.
The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade presented by Boeing is also brought to you by that great Robert Irvine Foundation and the state of Qatar. Our salute is to those serving us today, and it's brought to you by Leidos.
And here is Massachusetts Maritime Academy's Regimental Band Honor Guard and Drill Team, the pride of the regiment. Their mission is to provide music, military customs, and tradition to enhance the regiment of cadets' cohesion and morale.
That company promotes the Massachusetts Maritime Academy mission by showcasing leadership, discipline, knowledge through music, drill, and ceremony performances at public and academy venues to recruit, retain, and inspire a great regiment of cadets.
They put out some great captains, ship captains.
No, they have. Look how wonderful they look.
The American Veterans Center banner, the organization responsible for today's parade, and so much more. Please visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to see all that they can do for our veterans.
The Coronado High School Marching Band comes to us from Henderson, Nevada, located right in the Las Vegas Valley. The Coronado High School Band has accumulated many awards and accolades and has been invited to several national and international events, including just traveling to London to march in the New Year's Day Parade, to Washington, D.C., to perform in the National Cherry Blossom Festival, Independence Day parades, and also 5th in Bogota. They went to Dublin for the St. Patty's Day Parade and to Cleveland, Ohio to perform in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Bet they love them in Dublin.
The National Memorial Day Parade would like to thank Mustang Club of Maryland, National Capital Regional Mustang Club, and Central Virginia Mustang Club. These are some pretty nice Mustangs. These aren't 1 horsepower, by the way, like the old Mustangs. These suckers have some power.
Oh, yeah, they do. I always thought James Bond should have had a Mustang.
Nah, maybe. He did look good in his Aston Martin.
From Charlotte, North Carolina, here are the Marching Bulldogs from David W. Butler High School. They consistently earn superior ratings. The Marching Bulldogs are a proud flagship ensemble for the Butler High School Band program under the direction of Andrew Francis. Let's take a listen.
The 2023 National Memorial Day Parade, presented to you by Boeing, is also brought to you by TAPS, Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, and the American Veterans Center. Join our mission to preserve their legacy at AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
Thank all of you for joining us today for the National Memorial Day Parade 2023. We want to thank all the veterans, the bands, the marchers, the volunteers, everyone that's helped us to put this together.
And the American Veterans Center, we thank them for all they do, and we thank everybody, all the sponsors that helped put this together, and more importantly, all the folks that came out and decided to spend their Memorial Day with us along Constitution Avenue, enduring the rain and watching the parade and enjoying.
To all of you there serving in harm's way, first of all, we want to tell you thank you for your service. We miss you. We appreciate you. Please stay safe. God bless you. Our country really loves and appreciates you.
For all those who've served and sacrificed, we can't thank you enough. Obviously, you've incurred a debt that we can't repay. The least we can do is say thank you.
God bless you.
And we'll see you again next year here from Constitution Avenue for the National Memorial Day Parade.